Continuing our look at the big Georgia Senate runoff race happening on Tuesday between Democratic incumbent Raphael Warnock and Republican Herschel Walker. Early voting in that state shattering records, and in a moment we'll be joined by the Georgia Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger. Raffensperger was just reelected to his seat by a 9-point margin during midterms, despite former President Donald Trump railing against him ever since he committed the unforgivable sin of certifying the 2020 election results. Trump vowed to end Raffensperger's career and to banish him from the Republican Party and politics altogether. That obviously did not happen. And Raffensperger has unquestionably become the most high-profile election official in America over the past 2 years. His state has seen record numbers already voting in the runoff between Walker and Warnock, and as one of the earliest targets of election deniers after the 2020 election, he certainly has a unique perspective on election denialism in this country. Joining me once again is Georgia Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger. Thanks so much for coming back on the program. We really appreciate it. Let me start by asking you about these huge numbers you're seeing of early votes there in Georgia.
Yeah, every day. It's been just awesome. Every day has beaten the earliest record we had from 4 years ago or 2 years ago. So we're going to be probably, when we finish up Friday nights, probably over 1.4 million voters, which is record early voting turnout.
And you and I have talked about this before, but that certainly does seem to undermine the argument that somehow there's massive voter suppression going on in the state of Georgia.
Exactly. And we've been pushing hard ever since SB 202, the Election Integrity Act, was passed. We lost an all-star game over it, and I've been traveling all over the state to push back. We had 17 days of early voting during the general. We have 6 days of early voting that we had mandatory, plus anyone that wanted to, a county could have a Sunday voting up to 7 days. So we have never made it easier to vote, but we have security. Yeah. Absentee voting now is with photo ID. That elevates confidence because it elevated security.
Yeah, you and I have talked about some of the issues with the law, and we can talk about that again another day because we've done it here already. But let me ask you, do you think that election denialism took a hit in the midterms?
Oh, absolutely it did, because what we've shown in Georgia, and I think many other places, but in Georgia, we have honest and fair elections. In fact, we audited a statewide race after it was tabulated to verify that the machines were accurate, and the results were amazingly close.
I want to show you some of the folks who showed up in Maricopa County, Arizona, to protest the certification, and then I want to get some thoughts from you because I know that this is something you've dealt with personally.
I came here today to get an up-close and personal look at the 7 traitors to the United States Constitution.
Okay, again, please.
Sitting at that desk.
What we saw on Election Day was outrageous, and to say that it was anything but that is either you think we're stupid or you're just that arrogant.
And the way that you guys can just sit there, it's disgusting. Watching you pledge allegiance to my flag was disgusting, the way that you sold us out.
Now, I know you've faced a lot of this. Your family has faced threats, etc. How do you deal with people like this? I mean, they are so convinced that every election, for whatever reason now, they haven't always been convinced, they're suddenly convinced, that all the recent elections are now filled with fraud and irregularities, and you're the Secretary of State of an incredibly important state of Georgia. When these people approach you, when you talk to them, what do you say to the folks who are just convinced that you're the devil?
Well, that's why after we passed the Election Integrity Act and after the election of 2020, I traveled all over the state to talk to people. I said, here's what happened in 2020. We talked about the absentee ballot process. We talked about we have a verifiable paper ballot. And when we did a 100% hand recount of all 5 million paper ballots, we got virtually the same results. That showed the machines did not flip the votes, that the machines counted the ballots accurately. And so we then talked about shoring up voter confidence in the absentee ballot process by introducing photo ID, something they've been using in Minnesota for over 10 years now. Other states use it also.
And thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.